Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how to make a slider mechanism that has separate components that are able to move around and replicate what a piston would look like. So what I'm going to do, let me open up a new design real quick. Alright, first things first, even before I start modeling, I'm going to want to make a couple new components. And if I look at my old slider, you can see I've got the base, wheel, arm, and the slider. These are all my different components, and then my slider V2, this is the active component. This is my parent. So this has all of these other components in there. So if I hide everything, you can see I just see slider V2. Now if I was to, I don't know, let's open up slider. Now you can see I've got my own custom origin, bodies, sketches. So if I was to look, for example, at this slider V2, you can see all of the history that I've done to every single part. If I go to base and activate that component, now you just see history for the base. Hopefully that makes a little bit of sense, but I'm going to go through and start. So like I was saying, first I need a new component, and I'm going to uncheck the activate box because it'll activate each component. I'll show you why in a little bit, but let's just say base, and just for demonstration I'm going to leave this checked, but normally you would want to uncheck it. I'm going to say OK, and now you can see this is the active component. If I wanted to go back to the top and activate this, I can, and then when I click on new component again, it'll make a component within unsaved. Now unfortunately, if you leave base as the active component and then you make a new component in there, so now you can see base now controls this component too, which is not what I want. So I'm going to go ahead and undo that, because if I have that component within inside another component, they're not going to move relative to each other, and it's not going to be what you want. So new component, I'm going to call this one, let's say wheel, like that. I'm going to uncheck the activate box, and I'm going to say OK. So now you can see this remained activated. This is not activated. And now I'm going to make this be slider. Here we go. Slider. Let's say OK. And oops, sorry. New component. There we go. And then lastly, this one will be arm. There we go. So we got base, wheel, slider, arm. And if I activate my base component, I'm now sketching within this component. Make sure you change it so that it's not in your unsaved, because you could have these components but then sketch out the entire assembly just as unsaved, and it's going to be one solid block and it's not going to be able to move. So make sure you're in your base component. I'm going to click on create sketch. I'm going to use the top plane, and right off the bat I'm just going to start with my corner rectangle. I'm going to make this 100, and I'm going to make this 60, I think, is what I used last time. And then I'm going to extrude this. I'm going to extrude this 5 millimeters. Next, I'm going to create a sketch, and I'm going to sketch just right on the top of my surface here. Don't worry about these planes, just ignore them, pretend they're not there. Click on the top of your rectangle, and you start sketching, and it turned my view upside down. So if I click on this arrow here and here, there we go, I can now rotate it so that it's the right way up. And to begin, don't worry about position or size. I'm just going to draw a circle, and I guess since I'm drawing it, I can give it a size. I'll say 5 there, and then I'll just draw a rectangle, and this can be anywhere. Don't worry about positioning just quite yet, but I'm going to make this 30. And I'm going to make this 5. There we go. And again, if you need to add in these smart dimensions, you can always use the sketch dimension tool. Click on the edge here, and this will do what you want. Alright, so now I'm going to click on my line tool, and I'm going to turn this into construction. If I hover on this edge, you'll see I can find the midpoint. So if I click here, then click in the middle of my circle, and then, I don't know, draw something more or less like this. I can then take my horizontal vertical tool, click on this and that and that. To make it horizontal or vertical, I'm going to give this a dimension of 20. This can be 40, and this can be 15. There we go. Next, I'm going to mirror this part here. I selected the entire profile just by double-clicking on one of these lines, and then I'm changing my selector to be mirror line, clicking on this mirror line here, and then clicking OK. Alright, now that I've done that, if I go to solid and extrude, and I make that 5 as well, you'll see that I've extruded this 5 millimeters, and at this point I'm done with my base. I can go to the wheel, I'm going to start a sketch, and I'm going to use my circle tool to draw a, what did I do? I think I did 35, and so I drew my circle. I am using my extrude option, and I'm going to extrude this 5 upwards. Next, I'm going to create another sketch, but this time right on top of the wheel. I'm going to use my circle tool, and I'm going to draw a line from the center of the circle to the other center of the circle, and I need to change this to be construction. Next, I'm going to give my circle a 5 millimeter diameter, and I'm going to give this a 10 millimeter distance. I'm then going to extrude that circle by 5 so that I have this post. Next, I'm going to go into my slider component. I'm going to start a new sketch on this surface here. I'm going to take my corner rectangle, and I'm just going to select somewhere along this line, not the end point, not the midpoint, just somewhere in between, and then I'm going to do the same for the other side. This allows me to be able to drag this line and size it however big I want it to be. And actually, now that I think about it, in class I had this touching the end point there, and this was touching that. There we go. So now it's fully defined. I didn't have to add any extra sketch dimensions, and if I extrude that by 5 and create a new sketch on there, I'm going to take my line tool, construction line, there we go, make the line there, and oops, this one is construction. So if I click on this circle and then click on construction, I can change the line type, and this is going to be 10, this is going to be 5, and now I'm going to extrude this to be 5 as well, and I'm done with the slider. I'm now going to go to my arm and create a sketch, and I can select either one of these faces, it doesn't matter. I'll do the circle. I'm going to draw a circle around this wheel, or that circle, and now I can't select this one, so what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to go down to create and then project, include, and project. I'm going to project this circle and just say OK. Don't worry about anything there. If I create a circle here, I am now going to use my constraints to be equal, so both of these circles are going to be the same size. If I click on my smart dimension, I'll give this, let's say 10. Maybe 15. There we go. That looks better. Now I'm going to draw a line from the middle of both of those circles, but I want to make this a construction line, and I'm going to make 2 lines. Well, actually, all I need to do is 1 line, and then I can use my mirror tool, like we learned about earlier, to just mirror it around this line, so I always know that these 2 lines are going to be symmetric. And then if I take my smart dimension, I can actually dimension between these 2 lines to make it 5. If I go to solid, extrude, and select the different profiles here, is that going to be everything? Nope, I got to zoom in, make sure I'm selecting everything. There we are, that's better. And I'm going to make that 5 millimeters. And so now I have the arm. Perfect. If I go to my parent component, now you can see down here all of the history that I've done up to this point. I'm going to go to assemble, and I'm going to use the as-built joint, which you can see here. This, because I've already built everything already in the position that they're supposed to be, that's why I'm using the as-built joint. I'm going to change the joint type to be revolute, and I am going to select the base and then the wheel. And at this point, I need to tell the components how I want them to rotate. So for me, I want this middle point, I want the wheel to rotate around the peg. And it looks weird because the base is rotating, which isn't really what we want it to do. But if I click OK, and then I rotate the wheel, whoops, sorry, I forgot one step. I can click on the revert position, and if I right click on my base, let's see here, base, if I just right click on it and then click on ground, you'll notice a little thumbtack, and now when I try to move the base, it's not going to move. But if I move the wheel, now it's rotating. Let me revert that position, and I'm going to add a couple more as-built joints. So I need a revolute between the arm and the wheel here, and I want it to pivot around this peg now. So that looks good to me. I'm going to click OK. Another as-built joint between the slider and the arm, rotating around that point. And then lastly, one more as-built joint, but instead of revolute, we want slider. And I'm going to select my two components, but I'm going to select the very middle of this outer surface for the slider, and then I'm going to click OK. Now at this point, I have done everything that I need to do in order to get this to work. The last thing that you can try out if you want is if you click on the little drop down next to joints, you can see all the different joints that I've added. If I right click on it and go to animate model, you'll see that they start moving on their own, which is pretty convenient. If you want to hide them, if you click on the eyeball next to joints, and then, oops, eyeball next to joints, and then animate model, now you can see what it looks like without the joints in the way, which is pretty cool. If you hit escape, it'll get out of this animation, and then you're free to go into modify, go to appearance, and then start adding colors to your parts. At this step, you're pretty much done. I would like you to turn in a rendering of this and submit that to Canvas. But yeah, hope this helped. Good luck.